Hey everyone, I'm back. I say I'm back, I never went anywhere because I've tried to record this video 3 times now. The first time, the battery ran out. The second time, I had a phone call in the middle of it. And the third time, I was just talking gibberish. I'm not ruling out talking gibberish now, but it really was waffle. So I kind of give up on that one, and I decided last week was a write-off. No vlog videos. Just get the Flexus video out, and even that was late. So I had a bit of a mare last week. But there's a reason it was late, and it was a good reason. I say it was good reason. It's bad news for me. But basically, the engine light on the old Mercedes come on. So that's going to be the topic for today. Why is my engine light on? Well, it's off now because I've reset it. I borrowed a code reader from a mate. I've still got it in the car, so I'm going to be periodically checking it. Because the code is P0016, which is relating to the camshafts. And apparently it's a timing issue, so if the timing is slightly out on one of the camshafts, it flags up this code. And there's a deeper code that you can go into as well, which tells you if it's been advanced or retarded so much, depending on on what's happening. So anyway, yeah, I got that code, but it was only after I was driving spiritedly, shall we say. So, some spirited driving, light come on. I thought it was the first time I'd really given this car a good go with the proper manual, I say the proper manual settings, in the manual settings, using the flappy paddles on the steering wheel. So, I put it down to maybe being something like overheating or something like that, or maybe I got maybe a leak somewhere or something. I don't know, I just put it down to that. But like I said, I borrowed my mate's nice M3. Oh sorry, is that an M3? It's M4 these days, isn't it? Squirrel. Where was I? Borrowed my mate's thing, come up with this code P0016, which is the camshaft. Now, normally I would probably reset it and see if it comes up again, which is what I've done, and I'm still waiting to see if it does pop up again. So far we're all good. This only happened last week and I haven't really given it beans yet, so we can so it's behaving itself. So normally that's what I would have done, and that's what I have done. However, next comes what you do if it turns up again, which, to be honest, I'm expecting it to turn up again. Now, anyone who knows anything about a V6 engine knows that it has to have a balance shaft, because the engine itself is imbalanced. And the M273 engine in this car is basically it's a V6 with 2 cylinders bolted onto the end of it to make it a V8. So the M27 star engine numbers from Mercedes are essentially the same engine, just depending on the last number depends on how many cylinders you've got. So I've basically got a V6 with 2 cylinders, 2 extra cylinders. That means the problem that you get with the V6, where the balance shaft going through the centre of the engine has a cog at the end of it that likes to be stripped over time, is also present on the V8. The only difference with the V8 is it doesn't have the balance shaft attached to it. It is just quite simply a cog that the timing chain runs around. I'll see if I can put a diagram up so you can see a bit better now. But basically what happens to that, like I said, is it strips over time. So it's made out of cheese or some, normally I'd say French material, but it's made out of some cheese of some kind, so that it over time it wears down and it wears the teeth away, which alters the timing slightly, which throws up this code on the car. So like I said, the more this code comes up, the further along the degradation process that cog is. So if this light doesn't turn up for another month or so, I think I'm fairly safe. I'm in the early throes of that cog giving up on life. If it turns up within a week, we've got a timing chain to change. And that's something I'm not looking forward to. And it has to be changed, otherwise you get valve smashing pistons. That just ain't good. Although, if that does happen, I'm not adverse to putting the M113 engine in it, which is the E55, which is still a 5.5. But it's got a big old supercharger bolted onto it. And an extra 100 brake horsepower. Is that place open? Doesn't look very open, but we're going to try it. So, I'll be right back and I'll tell you why I'm here now. Oh. Right, where was I? I've stopped complaining about the CLK because hopefully it'll ride out, and I don't think changing the timing chain will be too bad. It's just an expense I didn't want. But if I can stretch it out for a bit, then I think I will. It's not a big deal. Just have to pay to fix this instead of paying for bits for the Focus. Speaking of the Focus, I've got a garage full of parts at the moment that need to be fitted, all requiring little bits and bobs to be done. Hopefully be able to use the lathe again to make a rather critical part for the gearbox. That's up and coming in another video. Because I've manually converted it, it's not quite as simple as I was hoping it would be, and it does need some custom fabrication, as usual. But we'll get around that. I just need to see if I can get, like I said, get access to the big lathe. So what was I just doing? I just popped into the paint shop, trying to make some new friends. It's a new paint shop to me. I've never been there before. Try to make some new friends, because when it comes to doing a lot of paint on cars and stuff, and I want to do little things like brake calipers and stuff, it's good to know people, and it's good to use their advice as well, because they probably know far more about painting than I ever will. But we can all learn together. Yeah, the Focus, I've been doing a bit of wiring. I'm not filming it because it's boring, and it's tedious, and tends to be a lot of guesswork, or not guesswork, but a lot of searching for a plug, either cutting the plug off or remaking the plug off, or pulling wires out. It's real laborious work that I don't think would make very entertaining videos. And I know I'm not in the business of entertaining, but when I've got content and I'm edited, I find it much easier when I'm talking and I actually have something to say than just padding. Yeah, when I've got something to say, it's much easier than when I'm just padding for content. So wiring would be a lot of padding. It would be me talking to myself for the most part. Brake. Why so slow? Oh, people. Outside the school. Lots of idiots outside schools. Generic stereotyping coming, but always mothers who can't drive. That may be offensive to some, but it's just an observation. A true observation. Inconsiderate, that's the problem. They're not bad drivers, they're just inconsiderate, which grips me. Irritates me. But it is what it is. Anyway, I think that'll do for now. I must have been about 10 minutes by now. There and back. Hopefully this week's video will be on time. I'm not sure whether I can keep this weekly video thing up, but I will do my best. It's quite difficult because I don't get out of the car every weekend. I do get some motivational problems. Anyway, that's it for today. Should we roll the windows? We'll roll the windows down. Ready? Drop down, hit the second, and wrong gear, that was third. Nice anticlimactic end to this video. Oh, right, I'm off. Ciao skis.